Hi everyone, Chill's recap here. Through various lenses, a mother, wife, a dog, a man, a child who grows into an adult, she learns what it is to exist, what love, anger, fear, and exhaustion are. She learns of the discrimination of women and what sister it is. Then later as a man tries to help understand the inherited misogyny. Dark, slow, disturbing, poetic, beautifully shot, tender, makes you ponder your existence, and one of the best portrayals of a witch you will see. You won't be alone. Spoilers ahead, may love and happiness continue to follow you in your life. The film starts as the local children play hide-and-seek around the neighborhood. Inside a house, a frustrated woman comes chasing after the kids with a broomstick yelling them to scram, then returns to her crying baby. She is then baffled why her baby stops crying all of a sudden, and as she turns around, a hideous-looking woman that is a witch is right in front of her. She begs her for her daughter's life. She begs the witch to have mercy. The troubled mother tries to reason with her and that she can offer other babies instead. Then she called out her name. "You are the old maiden Maria, are you not? I promise you, I will give you my daughter once she's grown, a daughter to serve you in your old age. Just let her turn 16 with me at least." After that, she escapes into the wild and into a cave, believing the sanctuary will protect her daughter from all kinds of evil. She prays a lot inside, and laid her baby under the protection of the said holy place. 16 years later, a girl named Navina, all grown up, she speaks to no one but the sounding voice inside her head, that kept her entertained as she faces isolation all alone inside the very same cave. While sleeping, her mother visits her and gently gives her a bath. But her mother is somewhat tired already. She then rests beside her daughter. Navina took notice of this and seizes the opportunity to get out of the cave. As soon as she's about to walk away, her mother angrily shoves her to the ground and yells at her about the kind of devil that lurks outside of the place. The day after, a magnificent-looking bird visits the cave and is staring dagger towards them. The mother then get overprotective thinking it was the same witch disguising itself as a hawk. Later, it flew away towards the entrance as the hysterical mom follows it, having the goal in mind of killing it. Then it becomes silent all of a sudden. The scared Navina looks at the entrance as her mother is now more calm and yet very eerie. And what's surprising is, her mother wants her now to go outside as she is now getting pushed by her. From the deafening sound of the breeze, to the blinding light of a gentle dawn, everything around her is new to her as she walks beside her mother. Now inside a barn, it's the first time her seeing a baby calf while her somewhat now strange mother is quenching her thirst through the blood and guts of a donkey just right beside her. Next, as Navina faces her mother, she was given a scratch by the chest and was spitted on by the mother, not realizing she is now turned into a witch, an unholy process that is not reversible, turning anyone to abandon their humanity. Her wounds healed fast, her nails become like the crows, and what really baffles her is when her mother is spilling her guts one by one to the ground. Then later, the reveal was shown. It is no longer her mother, but the witch herself, telling her now to just follow her. It hits Navina that her mother is no longer with her, and that the witch also swallowed her mom. She realized this when she took a nap on the witch's leg and that it was cold this time. All is left is this she calls the witch mama. The witch is now teaching her that the animals are food to eat, and not some playthings. Then at the river, Navina plays with the fish and set it free. This made the witch angry, then hits her, and reminded her that animals are food, and not playthings. Navina has this angry face on her and surprisingly throws a rock as a retaliation for the abuses the witch is doing. As a result, Navina was drowned into the water and reminded her that she is not a fool, and definitely not her mother. And from then on, Navina is nothing to her. And as she is now wandering by herself into the forest, she notices the witch is taking the guts of a dead wolf and putting it inside her body. Later, she becomes the wolf itself, as she glances at Navina for the last time. The next day, she wanders off to a nearby village and is curious watching the locals there. Later, a kid notices her and gives her a steady glance as she now trying to touch the kid with her demonic-looking fingers. This scares the little kid and runs away as she also hides from a nearby shelter, also being frightened. Then she hears a crying baby inside and approaches it. She has been found by the baby's mother, and as she tries to protect her child, Navina unknowingly stabs her, and the woman draws her final breath attending to her baby. As a witch, an instinct sinks in and fills herself with the guts of the mother she just ended. She now takes the form of the woman named Bosilka. Newly found form and always pondering, the mother-in-law steps in and cover her from being naked. The husband named Vasik is not pleased seeing her acting so crazy, so the mother-in-law takes her in to get away from the situation. The now new mother of hers is very kind and gentle, so different from her previous ones. She teaches Bosilka how to properly sweep the yard, while still learning everything around her. Then they socialize with the other women in the village. All of them are curious on why she suddenly became so strange that even her speeches has gone completely. Some of the women concluded it must have been from the hard-hitting blows of the spouse. Bosilka is taught when the man is in the room, the mouth should be closed. Sometime later, a distressed woman was thrown out by the husband. She notices it and approaches her. God willing, she tries to comfort the upset woman, which she finds Bosilka very strange doing so. She then shows her bruises, to kinda relate to her. She was also taught when she is with the women in the room, the mouth, it should never stop opening.
Have you seen yourself? A fool, from head to toe, and everyone can see through it. Did you think you're the first to do this? Just wait. Just you wait. They'll tear you to pieces. To shreds.
Later that night, as she thinks about the witch has said to her, her husband beside her tries to have a quickie with her. She doesn't want it, and as a defense she stabs him with her demonic fingers. She goes outside in the dead of the night thinking she had enough with this woman's life, as she throws away the guts she has taken from this woman named Bosilka. And as another new dawn passes by, she sees a dog nearby and now takes its form. Unaware, the village boys just pass her and Navina as a dog follows them. She watches them from afar, observing all the things they do as being boys. Back on her original form, she observes a young man from afar washing his face. Navina seduces him, makes the guy follows her deep into the woods. Deeply attracted to her, the young man tries to make love to her, and then she finally had enough of him by ending his breath. Like her previous victims, she also takes his form and re-enter the village as this man named Boris. In her thoughts, she's telling herself she's a man now, so she should eat like a man, do chores like men do, go out where the grass is, and dress like a man. But born as a girl before, she is amazed with dolls as playthings, so he took it from the children. The villagers didn't like it, and found him acting really strange. As their understanding, Boris fornicates with the wolf eater as the witch, so he must have yanked his wits. Still like he has lost his mind, Boris now continues to be curious with the surrounding and still continues to live among them.
Not much to show at all, have you?
And with a blank stare, he tries to ignore her.
Now, why so shy? Let us have a look here. You think you're fooling someone? Dressed, out of corpses. Think they see you as one of them? Just wait. Just you wait.
The next morning, as he washes his face, a young girl from afar wanted him to notice her, as he is curious on what the girl wanted from him, so he follows. Inside, the girl drags him in to make love to her. Boris, for the first time, experiences intense pleasure as a man. Next, as he lies on the grass, children are screaming, then pointing to a direction where a girl is said to fall from a cliff. He now approaches the unconscious poor girl, then he weeps for her, wanting to save her. Later, the rest of the villagers came, but found nothing but some dirty clothes that are left behind. The little girl from before named Biljana is now alive and well, as her mother quickly approaches her and is glad for her safety. But all didn't know that the girl they with now is Navina. Navina now experiences life as a child, playing as a child, bonding with the villagers as a child, and being happy as a child. She is having a fond connection with a village boy too, which she unknowingly she's beginning to like.
This happened centuries ago, when the cruelty of Turks emptied the villages with boys. Every last boys. For old maid Maria, there wasn't a bachelor left. And so, she feels as if she's in the same spot. One morning, as she now prepares for her daily chores, she is stunned for what she saw before her, a wolf eateress eating her horse. As the witch passes her by, she is trembling with fear, not saying a word. But later she follows.
Find me a husband. A husband to give me a child. A life.
The witch then scratched her chest and spits blood on her. Unknowingly, Maria just turned into a witch. Sometime later, a man from another village came by to visit, trying his luck to find a maiden for his son. Maria listens, and is delighted for this news. As she now looking forward to meet the bachelor's son, she is greeted by the disgruntled mother from afar, now rushing her inside the house only to find out a sick young man is the bachelor she is betrothed for. By the will of the parents, they beg her to not let their son be sent to God as a virgin, an unman. She screams for them to let go, but the deed was still done. The next morning, the sick young man passes away as she now contracted his sickness. That same night they pray for her, for the sickness may go away. But Maria instinctively knew what must to be done so she can regain her health back. She did what the wolf-eatress is doing, by feeding on the blood that heals. As if misery is wasted on the miserables, the villagers found out what she's done, and that feeding on the blood of animals is a witchery and should not be passed. So they tied her on a wooden stake, preparing her to be burned. All the villagers witness her punishment, but lo and behold, all of them are now seen running away, as Maria is still alive with those haunting eyes, staring back at them.
That story really haunted her. And from years of being a child, she now blossomed into a vibrant young woman named Biliana. She is now fitting right in, living with the villagers as if she found the true meaning of existence. A young man named Jovan is doing his work, but he kinda messed it up, so the other men teases him for it. Lucky for him, Biliana helps him. It's because you see, she likes this boy, ever since they were little kids, but he doesn't know it. She looks at him every chance she can get. She felt love without even realizing it.
Every me, every last of me. Me, the woman. Me, the witch. Me, the bees buzzing in your head. Every me, every last of me.
She is happy. The boy she likes, see the beauty in her imperfections. She truly loves him.
He'll eventually find you out. Throw you in the fire himself.
The day finally comes. Jovan asks Biliana's hand for marriage. The parents on both parties agree and say, so be it then. Everyone in the village knows about the holy union, and everyone is happy and excited. Jovan looked up and there she was, Biliana in her wedding dress. All is done with their traditional custom of breaking the bread. A wedding celebration called Horo, where guests linking arms and dancing together in a circle.
Every me, every last of me thirst, for every him. Only not the skin flesh of him. Him, the boy inside. Him, the boy with the eyes. The eyes that looked scared, even when they're smiling. It's that boy, the one I want to put in my arms around. To hold him, and hold him tight. Chase the scaredness away.
Sometime later, she decided to tell her husband her secret, by showing her demonic fingers. But Jovan doesn't care. He smiled back at her and continues to love her even more. One fateful day, on a regular busy morning, she saw an ominous-looking boar, with the blood on its mouth wandering in their yard. She slowly paces down the ladder thinking the worst, and there it was. Her husband lying dead on the ground. It was her, it was Maria the witch who did it. Her husband was buried and everyone mourned. But Biliana, poor Biliana who just experiencing life for the first time, is just angry. And what's worst, the villagers thinks of her as a bad omen. They think she brought evil in the village ever since the day she was rescued from the forest. One elderly woman thinks it was the wolf-eater's doing, and she thinks it rages with envy. Biliana now is giving birth to her first child, and it is intense. More painful than anything she dealt with living outside that cave. It was a female child. A healthy baby girl. But for a minute there everyone saw the child had evil eyes, and she became paranoid in an instant. She immediately closed all windows so no one could see her child. That night, she did not sleep. Everyone now became worried to her as they try to persuade her that her child is also precious to them, and they will not hurt her baby. But all of it's just her dream. She went outside on a misty morning to gather firewoods, but as soon as she gets back there she was. It's Maria.
This little runt. So it came from your innards. So, what's so good about it?
Then Maria immediately cut the child, but as soon Biliana had a chance, she escaped, along with her child, and into the barn. She took an axe with her and slaughtered a donkey to try and save her baby. Luckily, Biliana turning her child into a witch immediately cured all the child's wounds. It has now been done, a witch of a mother, and a witch of a daughter as well. And Maria could do nothing but stare at them, feeling all alone and still miserable.
How was it so simple for you? How?
And yet, no simple answer was given to Maria. But enough is enough, it has to stop. All Biliana is thinking is, you will no longer hurt me, nor my child. So she ended Maria where she stands. We create monsters and then we can't control them. Sometimes it takes sadness to know happiness, noise to appreciate loneliness, and absence to value presence. Learn from yesterday. Live for today. And hope for tomorrow.
Make sure to like and subscribe to watch more videos like this. Thank you for watching.